Make Calcutta relevant again.
You already know.
Relevant again. Make
Say,
Calcutta relevant.
say.
Hi everybody, Namaskar, Namaskaram, Sat Sri Akal, Salam Alaikum. You know something? It's the most important thing in this world to be relevant. And when people say that Calcutta isn't relevant anymore, I mean, it really makes me feel so sad because I'm one of those people who's always been saying that, you know, when people ask me during interviews and all, how was it then and why was it so lively then and why was it living and why, you know, I say, hang on. Just hang on. Because for me, Kolkata or Parkstreet never died. And it never will. You know, for me, I never really left anywhere. I didn't leave Calcutta. I didn't leave Trinca. I never leave Trincas. I mean, that's one fly you've got to really swat hard to get out because I'm not getting out in a hurry. But really, I tell you, in those days it was mostly men because somehow these kind of restaurants which had nightlife in it and music and, you know, so there was a band and there was a cabaret and everything going on. Usually it was only the men who came. Because there was that stigma attached, you know, there was a bad place and, you know, only guys go there. And then there I came onto the scene and broke the whole thing, okay, by looking like the girl next door, just like that. And clean scrubbed face and all that, and then, you know, I come in with a sari wearing 6 meters of kapda and covered from here to here, and, you know, and there were the beautiful cabaret girls who, you know, and singers and crooners who had their black numbers with the nice cleavage cut, and which I didn't have anything any at that time, not now either. So, but then let me tell you, all the women became my best friends because women realized that I was truly not any threat to their husbands with a body and a face like mine. I think they somehow felt secure with me, and they felt that they could relate with me, relate to me. So I wasn't like this person who was out to grab their men. In any case, I never had a kind of a sexual or a glamorous image to myself. It was always like the girl next door. And God knows I tried hard enough to change that. No, that's just a joke, actually. I never tried to
I
change it.
disagree on the glamour though, because when you stepped up to the mic, and even now when I hear you stepping up to the mic, every eye in the room points at you.
Everyone fades
Every
to the background.
ear on the
when
room
you
points at you.
start
Everyone
singing.
is completely
Proud to be-
transfixed
How
by
lovely.
what you are going to do on stage. Whether
How
shoot
lovely.
your one-liners
Yeah.
or take everyone away with your voice,
Thank you.
you have the glamour. You've
you.
always had the glamour, and you know that as well.
No, I don't know if I really had the glamour, but I did have a presence.
You definitely have the
And you
glamour.
still do.
Your voice
Of
is
course I
glamour.
know. Now
When you walk
now
into
I
a
have
room,
it even
it's-
more.
It's so hard to see anyone else. And with that, I don't think we have to shoot an intro for this episode. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Make Calcutta
Calcutta
Relevant
Relevant
again.
again.
Yes.
And I think the conversation started on such a note, on such a high.
Yeah.
We don't have to do a lot more. I think it's going to be an easy episode.
No, you
Shaba,
can't.
we
Oh,
change it?
surely you didn't think that you and Shaba were going to introduce the show when I'm there.
When you're there, exactly. So I was just like hanging
When
out
the
in
soul
the
of
back end.
Calcutta and of Parkstreet
Yeah.
is sitting next to you, you have to do no introduction.
No. We don't do introductions, and of course it had to begin with your classic namaskar, namaskaram. You know, your entire spiel, and it's
Yeah,
so
it's so
important. I mean,
important.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you're here, Ushadi. Ushadi for me, Ushadi
Yeah.
for my mum, Ushadi
Absolutely,
for everybody.
For
you know?
everybody.
For Calcutta.
So
Ushadi
don't
for
forget, I'm the original Didi. Which,
the original Didi.
yes, which makes it so relevant, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if I'm relevant after 53 years, how could Calcutta not be
Oh,
relevant?
what a beautiful line. So, and with
That
us,
is the most important
so the
line.
queen of Parkstreet, the queen of Trincas, the queen of Calcutta, Ushadi is here with us, and on the other side we have Anand Puri from the Trincas family, the current sole bearer of Trincas. And I think we're going to have a great conversation today. I mean,
Oh, you know something. For me, Anand is like, it's very difficult for me to explain it to him because I know he feels feels that way about me as well. And somewhere at the back of his mind, I'm sure he knows. But for me, he and then Sunny Puri, that's his father, then Omi Mama, who I was Omi Puri, and Uncle Josh. For me, I mean, that's part of my existence. The reason why I'm here, and the reason why I'm still here is because I am relevant, and Trincas taught me to be relevant. I come from the time when there was absolutely no stereo even. Can you imagine?
it's a mono
Today,
audio everywhere. when you're
everything.
singing.
So I'm the original unplugged, completely, and I'm the original bandwali as well. And everything was acoustic.
No, we're gonna get you a T-shirt which says "I am the original unplugged." We're gonna make it. We have
I
a
hope
rule.
you make it.
We do it. For every episode we shoot, we take some. And I was telling Anand right before you came that from every episode we create these line of T-shirts with things that we learn from the show.
episode.
Yeah.
You're going to be doing a lot of t-shirts.
Oh
next
man,
episode.
yeah.
We have to do so many T-shirts just so.
Just for
Yes,
Usha, yeah.
really.
And of course, the first one has to go to her, and if she allows us, then we'll also let other people wear it.
Oh,
But
I
trade-
want them all to wear
You
it.
want
for
it, and
sure.
it'll have your face on it, or it'll have the core, whichever you want.
No,
you know.
it has to be. I mean, because you know, something which is so important, I feel, in life is relevance. Really, you are nothing if you aren't relevant. I mean, even today, and this is not just because I'm talking in Calcutta, but even today, I can pick up. Not that I'm an exponent of Rabindra Sangeet. I'm not. I've learned, but I even did the examination to release my albums. Okay, in Rabindra Sangeet. So I would say that even today, why is he so relevant? Because you could pick up any song of his
For any mood.
for any mood,
Exactly,
any
yeah,
mood, and it would be perfectly just so right.
Yeah.
If,
And intergenerational relevance, right?
yes.
That's, I guess, what we're
And,
talking about at this time as well.
I guess it means relevance has to mean something to somebody. And if you mean something to somebody, then you're relevant.
yes,
What does Usha Di mean for you?
She's an inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Straight off the bat, she's an inspiration. She's,
No, and also, you know, even I would say relevance is, if you talk about fashion, okay, when people ask me what do I think about fashion, I think it's constancy. I think it's comfort. Because if you can't be, and it is, what shall I say, if you can't be consistent, constancy, consistent, and comfort. If you can't be comfortable in that fashion, whatever you're wearing, then it is never going to be relevant.
So is that another potential T-shirt idea, Shabbar? Constancy, comfort, and what was the other one?
Consistent.
Consistent. Yeah.
Consistency, constancy, and comfort.
And with a sari, with her in a sari.
With her in a
Yes.
sari,
The three
yes.
C's of
and
Usha
the
Di.
shoes, don't forget
And
the
the
shoes.
Let's not
shoes.
forget the
The
shoes,
shoes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Always rocking it with the shoes because, you know, you have to be
Should not
comfortable as well.
remember.
I wore
And
dinosaur
the-
socks to combat your shoes, by the way.
But it's already so hard to, like, when Usha Di is in the same room as you, you're already thinking, how am I ever going to get any of the limelight? Will anyone even look at me?
They're all looking at you, darling.
Ah,
They're all
I'm-
looking at
Are you
you.
going to make me blush beneath my little
No,
beard
no,
here?
everybody will be looking at you because you're relevant. And
Shabba
I
is smiling
think
because she had a little joke about that earlier.
I learned today that something very fascinating about my co-host, that there are a lot of teenagers on this campus.
Oh, God.
Engineering students, a lot of teenage girls
girls who are
who
crazy
are
about
fans of Meghdoot.
Yes, of
No
course.
comments, no comments.
So how
You'll
do
have to cut
you
it out of
feel
this.
about having a fan following?
How do I feel about having? See, if you're relevant, if you're trying to do something, you get noticed, right? And like jokes
No,
apart.
no.
You
Jokes
see-
apart.
no.
I tell you something. I mean, this has got nothing to do with the person, okay, or with the person Anand, or with the person you, or with the person you. You know, there are some people you just warm up to, you know, and you just you can just say, oh, it'd be so nice with a teddy bear hug, or you know what I mean?
So many of
And-
these kids are going to watch this episode
And
and
so-
be expecting teddy bear hugs.
And,
I am not open
Here's
to
my
teddy bear
contribution
hugs.
to your t-shirt. Megdut is a teddy bear.
Make this is a teddy bear, and me, but with like a my face, but with a teddy bear
but,
body.
yeah, but Anand is another person
Yeah.
who everybody would love to be with because there's a comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And with people like you and me, I would say that you're like a kutti Usha.
You're
You know,
a good
kutti
team.
means
Yeah,
chota,
chota.
in Tamil
Yeah.
or in Malayalam. Because I would say that maybe it's the high cheekbones or something. If there was anybody wanted to do something with, make like a biopic or something like that, they could choose you because you look like how I was when I was younger. Maybe not so thin. I was very thin before. So maybe a little plumper, kutti Usha, that kind. So I feel that you can warm up to people immediately. And even though you may have two flights of stairs or something like that, and you're panting and
That was coming.
Six
That was
flights.
coming. That was
Usha ji
coming. I
made
knew.
you climb up 6 flights.
6 flights. It was 2 flights. Cut me some slack. I'm so sorry. Yes,
No.
I apologize on screen that we made Usha Di climb 2 flights of stairs. And
Yeah, and,
but I'm so glad that now, now that you've laid it out, I think we're okay. No, like you don't hate
no.
me.
You know immediately that
That's
I'm
true.
okay
Yes.
because you see when you all this only points out to relevance.
But let's go back to self-belief. I think
Yeah.
I've never thought
No,
of it that way. A lot of it, I mean,
Of
it's an
course
interesting
it's
point.
self-belief.
It's an interesting point. Like,
No,
have we
I
lost?
know, and this is very important point. I want to be able to say it to everybody because simply because not because I'm a great teacher. Or, I am a great teacher.
You are a
actually,
great teacher. Yeah.
But not because I'm
This is
wanting
Usha
to
Di's
preach.
class basically. She's
Yeah.
taking our class
Yeah,
just sitting here.
correct.
This is- yeah.
So when you say chhodiye dao, it is to spread it around, okay, which is this action, and then you say amar Bangali. What is that? Amra Bangali. We are Bengalis. Our culture. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You want to spread a language? Spread it. Don't say we have to keep it within ourselves. No, that doesn't work. And I am angered by that.
So don't be gatekeepers. Is what your message is on that.
My message is it's two contradictory actions. One is chodiye dao and one is saying eta amader. No. You're making it, then you are making it like rasgulla.
You're commodifying it. You're commodifying culture.
It's like a package deal, which Calcutta is not. It should not be. Who are you to say Rabindranath Tagore belongs to Calcutta? No, or to Bengal? No way. I've been to Russia and I've seen Russian students over there, youth, learning Rabindra Sangeet.
Wow.
Yeah. And how many years ago is this? When there was Soviet Union, and I went all over. There was Chimkent, Jambul, Tashkent, Alma-Ata, all these places, and every place had some student who was learning Rabindra Sangeet. So what's with us? What is with us? If they can sing it with their accent, why are you rejecting somebody who is singing with a South Indian accent? We have no belief. We don't believe in ourselves. We don't. I mean, the Germans talk English with a German accent. A French person speaks with a French accent. The Italiano is only talking in the Italy, eh? They don't care. What are you talking about?
What are you talking
What
about?
are you talking about? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? So if a South Indian talks English or Bengali or whatever it is in with their accent, so what of it? You should be so happy, and you should be.
They're accepting the
Yeah,
culture.
they're
They're
a-
accepting
and
the language.
they're willing.
Trying.
They're trying. That is so important. So important. So what is this? I mean, if it's not a contradictory thing, then what is it? You, on one side, you want to say you want to spread it around. You want the whole world to know that Bengali is the sweetest language. Then spread it.
But that's what you have to be, right? To be relevant. You have
That
to be
is
ahead of your
true.
time.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to
Correct.
preempt it
Yeah,
almost.
you've always been ahead of your time.
Always.
Right
I mean,
after
I'm
COVID,
doing
I
these.
remember like you had, I was on a video call with you and you had like a beautiful mic with lights behind, and I was like, Ushadi, what is this set that you're in? She's like, no, this is in my house. This is where I've been doing all these shows. I'm like,
She
you're
did
way
shows-
ahead of like
yeah.
everyone else.
Ushadi
Like
did shows throughout COVID.
throughout COVID.
Online.
Yeah, when
I did the maximum amount of shows and recordings and everything.
During
I
COVID?
during COVID. I did Seattle. I did Chicago. We did New Jersey. We went all over America, which is impossible if you had to fly and get P3 visas and go on the same day from New York to San Francisco.
Oh,
You
wow,
can't
that's
do
like
it on the
across the
same
country,
day.
right, so-
Yeah, but I was doing it within 2 days. Like, it was really amazing, back to back. And then go to Australia. So if I was doing Australia, it was late in the night show for me because it was morning for them. And if I was doing America, then I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, get ready, and get my music system in. So you have to focus on what is your priority, really. What is your priority? For me, my priority is really to get the youth involved. Without the youth, you're finished. You are finished. You have to. And that the only way to do that is to be ahead of your time. Why is R.D. Burman the most mixed and remixed and remixed man? Because he was doing tunes and composing and things like that years and years ahead of his time, right? So I think to remain relevant, if you don't have the youth on your side, you can forget it. You can forget it.
Your thoughts on the youth? She's obviously very, very passionate about.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I mean, look how everything's moving right now. You're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, it's all this social media. That's now become the easiest way to get your voice out there. Whether you are a restaurant or whether you are a person going to a restaurant, the best way to get your voice out there is by sharing your experience, by sharing what you're doing, by sharing your talent, by sharing your thoughts, your ideas. And this is, social media can be very double-edged as well.
Of course.
But if you know that double edge exists and you go in with your eyes open,
yeah.
you know that the world is a dangerous place,
Sure.
but you go in with your eyes open.
Like I said about the stage, yeah, you've got to know.
Yeah, and
Right from the beginning.
This is something. This is something that you can use positively as well. This is something that you can use to benefit other people, to benefit the thoughts and the ideas that you put into a project. So if you want to do something and you can show people what you're doing, they tend to be more excited about it and they tend to be in line with what you're thinking. So when they come in, they know that, okay, this is what went into this. And that's happened with Trincas. That's happened a lot with just the things that I'm putting out there. And that will happen with Calcutta as well. When you start putting a lot of thought into what you want to project about Calcutta, people are going to see that and they're going to be able to reciprocate, they're going to be able to understand what you're saying, and they're going to be able to communicate back to you with that same sort of energy that you're putting out there.
So I learned so many things after coming to Trincas. Can you believe that? I don't know if this is very relevant actually. Being a South Indian, how many people would even think
what's
about
coming.
it? Being about paneer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember this story.
What is about this
South
paneer?
India, in South India, nobody knows paneer.
New paneer.
New paneer now they
Yeah.
do.
Ah, okay.
What's paneer?
Yeah,
How?
like cottage cheese, like paneer.
Okay, cottage cheese.
Cottage
I
okay.
mean, whatever it's called, it's cheese.
Jana sala. Cottage cheese. Okay.
Paneer. Yeah, that's what.
Paneer. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
so-
I didn't know. The
You
first
didn't
time.
know what
no,
paneer was.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in Bombay,
Yeah.
a very middle class South Indian home, where we have rasam and sambar and dosa. Where's the cheese coming in? Okay.
Yeah.
It only came in much. The only cheese I know is Kraft cheese.
Kraft
okay?
cheese.
Like,
Some brie or.
It's too funny. Yeah. It's too funny. I must say this joke to everybody.
Yeah.
In my first trip to America, I remember, I said, coffee shop in the morning, and the lady said, "What would you like to have?" And I said, "I'll have a cup of coffee." And she said, "So would that be black, or would it be white, or would it be, decaf, or what?" I said, "Can I just have a plain cup of coffee?"
Like coffee, right?
Like just coffee, okay? And she said, all right. And she just brought whatever there was. I had it. And she said, would you like to have something that would go with it? I said, I'd like to have some, is it possible to have some cheese, just some toast? Would that be rye? Would that be brown? Would that be multigrain? Jana, roti leke aana. Pav roti. I'd be very happy. No, it didn't happen. So then she brought that. But the best and the punch of it all was when she said, would you like anything with that? And I said, no, may I have some cheese? So she said, then again she said, would that be this and that and the other, and how many kinds of different cheeses you have? Of which I knew nothing.
Actually,
So I said,
bit more than
may I have some Kraft cheese, please? I asked her. She said, I'm so sorry, we don't do Kraft. We only do craft. So that took me to the really height of accents, I guess. And they made so much fun of me. But that's the only cheese we knew as children was Kraft cheese. And paneer. I tasted for the first time in Trincas as a paneer cutlet.
Do you still have that on the menu?
Paneer cutlet is not there?
Yeah.
Lots of paneer dishes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Maybe we should
Then-
reintroduce a paneer cutlet, call it the Ushas.
It should be called the Usha cutlet. The
Usha
paneer cutlet.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I said, oh, this is really wonderful. Then Omi Mama said,
Do you remember how
it
it
is
used to taste
deep
like?
Punjabi. Yeah, lovely stuff.
No.
Superb.
It was a long time.
I love Trincas food.
Yeah?
Love
Oh, it
it.
is
I think everyone
superb.
loves-
It's
everyone loves
amazing, the
Trincas.
food.
Uncle Josh and Omi Mama told me one day, Omi Mama said to me, but actually I learnt a lot from Rai Bahadur Oberoi as well, because, he was such an amazing man, Rai Bahadur Oberoi. My first contract in Delhi was at the Oberoi Intercontinental. And
That's what you went there from Trincas,
from
right?
Trinca.
That
Everything
was in
started from
1971
Trinca.
or
yes,
72.
And it was so amazing. No, 69. Everything was a magical year of 69 for me.
For the whole world of music.
Yeah,
like,
actually.
you
So
think of
I
Woodstock
went to
and everything
I went to
happened.
Delhi, and it was the first night. It was jam packed. The Regal room was fully huge, and I was singing over there, and the piano player Benny Rosario in between told me, you know who that short guy? He didn't said bugger. The short guy who's picking up all the plates. You know who he is? I said no. I was so chock-a-block full, you see. So there were a lot of people who were helping, and he said, that is Rai Bahadur Oberoi. I feel so proud to say that I learned so much from him. He cleared all the tables that were so full himself. And I'll never forget how he told me. He said, if you don't do it, agar aap nahi karte hain, aur kaun karega?
That's also how you make Calcutta relevant.
And
If
also
you guys don't do it,
dignity
who's
of
gonna do it
labor.
for you?
Dignity of labor.
Dignity of labor for the youth is the most important thing.
Absolutely.
काम होता है, गाना होता है, छोटा गाना, chorus गाना, ये वो, nothing. Just sing. And just there has to be dignity of labor. Without that, no. So we're talking about confectionery, and I have to say that I learned my first, besides the paneer, I also learned how to have the palmier, which they call now Prajapati biscuit.
Oh.
Prajapati biscuit, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
I did
we
not-
have to know this story. What is the
Palmier, okay.
Okay.
And it was shaped like a heart.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, and I
Flaky.
thought that was
Is that what inspired the Little Hearts?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it
yeah,
might have.
absolutely.
I think that could have
Absolutely.
Palmier.
Yeah.
So it's a French name.
And the
okay?
Little Hearts has nothing on the original.
on the original
Oh, Trinca's palmiers were just too much. And I remember so romantically, which my husband will just, I used to wait for him to come so that I would give him a heart.
Oh,
Ah.
that is so cute.
And I learned that you don't have a cup of coffee or anything without a biscuit. I learned that in Calcutta. Doing millions of shows in padas, and you have the little bhad, the kullad, which they say, with the chai, and you can't have tea or coffee without a biscuit, because it's the opening conversation in any Bengali congregation is ombol. which means acidity. Am I right, the camera person?
Eno, Pandy,
yeah.
Shop
So
Shomoy,
you-
Bangali,
no,
pocket
whatever it is. Supposing you say, will you eat something now? You say, no, অম্বল হয়ে যাবে. Okay, will you have something? হ্যাঁ নিশ্চয়ই খাবো না তো অম্বল হয়ে যাবে.
খেলেও অম্বল, না খেলেও
Either
অম্বল।
way, yeah. So for me, it's most important. So excuse me, I learned this. The first time I ever had a palmier was like this with coffee, and that's how I learned.
Also the saucer, the very proper way to
Drinking.
drink tea
That's the only
in
way.
the saucer.
Yeah. But how did like when you dip it and then you sip it from dip it and sip it?
No.
Dip it in the
Where was he
in the
born,
cup.
yaar? He doesn't know how to have.
You dip it in the cup, but to cool the tea and to have it at a
Oh, yeah.
temperature suitable for the tongue, you have to put it on
Yes.
the
The
saucer.
saucer.
She has
The saucer.
proved herself to be worth her age and
Yeah,
inexperience
you have
as
to
well.
have it.
Yeah. No, but the Projapati biscuit, where did that name come from? Is there
Palmier.
from
Palmier.
but I don't know what that.
Prajapati just means
Looks like a
butterfly.
butterfly.
Oh,
Looks
just
like a
because.
butterfly.
Okay. But coming back to this, you had raised this point about this double-edged sword, the social media sometimes being that. What do you think of the information overload that we get? Of course, there's great things that is happening. You can reach out to so many people. It's all good and well. But when Ushadi was growing up, you didn't have an information overload like we have today, right?
There was nothing. There was so slow.
Everything was
Everything was in the press or by word of mouth.
Or you would have posters, like, okay, if you had information
Posters.
about like some gig that was happening somewhere, like you would see it because you were crossing that particular junction.
No,
But
at
today-
all.
Your friends
As
told
you
you.
said, posters.
Oh, your friends told you, yeah. Like
Just
this.
radio.
One of the first posters which appeared of mine was Usha tonight and every night, no cover charge.
Yeah, that's what it said. At Trincas, yeah.
At Trincas as well as in Madras the
Yeah.
first time, yeah. And Johnny, my husband, hadn't come that day to the show. When I went back home, you know what he told me? He said, "You smell like you came out of a cigarette factory." Johnny's very. He's got a few sentences that we've spoken. I mean, we speak to each other for the past 53 years. That's how I remember all his sentences. So yeah, so people ask me, how does he help you? I say, by not helping. He's been so amazing, really. And we had the most torrid affair, which, of course, Trincas gave me. Yeah, really.
Ah, that's.
I met him there.
You met your husband at
Like a
Trinca?
Hindi movie.
Have you not read the book?
No.
Oh, by the way,
Wait, it's-
can we have the book, please?
What book are we talking about? This is a surprise element in this episode.
Thank you. This book will tell all.
The Queen of Indian Pop.
And you have to read this.
Yeah.
And I brought this so that you can sign it for me.
What can
And
I
leave a
sign
cheeky
for you,
message for us.
sweetheart?
It has to be cheeky because
That's like her on
that's
brand
the best
for her.
way I want to remember Usha Auntie is like her one-liners. They're so good.
Too fantastic.
Yeah. This
You're
this
gonna
takes
sign
us
this
all
for
by
us?
surprise. We're gonna get a pen from the audience.
So
From
you have to tell me.
yeah.
This first of all is that we're going to do this, right? At
the listening
Trincas.
sessions with
Yeah,
Ushadi.
let's do it.
Yeah?
We're on.
Yes. Here
Let's
is
do
the
it.
pen for you, so that you can leave a cheeky message
Rubbish
for
pen.
I have a cheeky message for Anand. Yeah.
Anand and Trincas.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you have to sign that it was at
that's
the
just
show.
to me, not to Trincas.
No, not to Trincas.
Just to.
Oh,
It's for his
just to
personal
you.
collection. But you have to mention that this was at the Make Calcutta Relevant Again podcast.
But I warned Meghdut before you came on the show. I said, Usha Auntie will come in guns blazing.
Yeah.
She's got the one-liners.
One line.
Yeah.
Boy.
What
What did
an
she say
episode.
when she walked in and she was huffing up the stairs?
It was like, no, it was something like, what have you been doing? I said, nobody.
She said something to
She
you.
said something.
You know, Musa, can I say it on?
Yes, of course.
So many people when they meet me, they say, "Hi, how are you doing?"
Oh, you're right.
I say,
That was the
"Who?
one.
Who am I?
Who?" And it goes above their head. One flew over the
Because you
cuckoo's
said,
One
nest.
flew over the cuckoo's nest.
I'm not doing anyone.
Then
but
I say, I'm not doing anyone, but I mean, it's okay. We can try. Then another famous one is, I mean, especially in, Indians, we have a funny way of saying, "How you keeping?" I say, "Who?"
We have to have an entire episode, I think, just
No,
for Usha.
one is they say, to keep not physique.
body, একটু bodyটা
না ভেঙে গেছে না
একটু body
একটু
শরীরটা ভেঙে শরীরটা ভেঙে গেছে
শরীরটা ভেঙে গেছে you can imagine the
literally means
visual
your body is
all
broken.
breaking up
the brittle bones getting to a whole different level. there.
ছুরিটা ভেঙে গেছে না একটু। ও মা।
No, no. He's younger than ever and
Timeless and
resplendent
ageless.
as ever. And thank you, Anand. Thanks for bringing the
Thanks for having me
youthful vigor. I think although she did mention we're different generations, I think I can relate. And ever since we've met, it's been like a very, very interesting. Every time we've had a conversation.
When were you born?
Asked me my age.
Yeah, nobody would have known. Nobody would have known. I don't know if it's like if you got a few more white hair than I
Yeah,
do.
well.
You're not that much older. But thanks so much.
I'm still making friends with time.
Still making friends with
Yeah.
time. We're gonna have that as a
Don't fight.
T-shirt as well, no? Like
Don't fight with time.
Don't fight with time. Make it your friend. And I think it has been such a beautiful, wonderful conversation. So
yeah. While we continue our conversation here, we're gonna have to say bye
Bye to you
for
guys.
now. But thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. Any
Bye,
last words?
everyone.
Thank you.
ও
Okay.
মা তুমি সিনেমা দেখো?
Make Calcutta relevant again.
You already know.
Relevant again. Make Calcutta
Say,
relevant
say.